I'm Cristina Vivas Peraza. I'm a researcher in applied linguistics at the University of Zaragoza in Spain. And here I'm going to talk about an article I recently published in the Journal of Science Communication. Over the last decade, scientists have increasingly turned to crowdfunding as an alternative way to finance their research. Online platforms like experiment.com allow researchers to pitch their projects directly to the public and ask for small donations online. A key element of these crowdfunding campaigns is the science crowdfunding video, or the SCV. These are short, self-produced videos, often just a few minutes long, where scientists explain their research and invite people to support it financially. What's interesting about these videos is that they are not just about explaining science, they're also about persuasion. Scientists need to motivate people who may not be experts and who don't really receive any material reward to care enough to donate money for scientific advances. Previous research has shown that videos are powerful persuasive tools, especially because they work at an emotional level. However, we still know very little about how emotions are actually constructed in this specific video genre for science communication. So the aims of this study were to observe how scientists use emotional appeals to persuade audiences in science crowdfunding videos. To explore this, I turned to a classical rhetorical concept, the concept of pathos. Philosopher Aristotle argued that persuasion works through three main interconnected appeals: logos, ethos, and pathos. And pathos is about emotion, how speakers connect to the audience's feelings to make their message resonate and motivate action. In this study, I used pathos as an analytical lens to examine which emotions scientists draw on in science crowdfunding videos and how those emotions are expressed, not only through verbal language, but also through visual choices like images, body language, and filmic effects, such as the choice of camera angle and shot. Methodologically speaking, this study is based on a qualitative multimodal analysis. I analyzed a sample of 50 science crowdfunding videos from the platform experiment.com. All of them were in English and focused on biology, ecology, and medicine campaigns. The analysis combined language and visuals. What scientists say matters, but how they appear on screen matters just as much. The findings showed that science crowdfunding videos rely heavily on positive emotional appeals. The most remarkable result is the predominant use of strategies that appeal to kindness and friendship. Linguistically speaking, this included frequent use of second-person pronouns like you, yours, inclusive pronouns like we, our, gentle imperatives like join us or help us, and rhetorical questions that invite shared reflection. Visually, this was reinforced through eye-level camera angles, close or medium-close shots, direct gaze into the camera, and smiling. This suggests that persuasion in science crowdfunding is less about authority and more about relationship building. Viewers are invited to feel that they are part of the project, part of the solution, and part of a collective effort. A second smaller group of also positive emotional strategies appeal to calmness and confidence. Here, scientists emphasized the positive impact of the research, its benefits for health or the environment, and sometimes even thanked viewers in advance for their support. These strategies project optimism and competence, reassuring viewers that their donation is safe and worthwhile investment. In contrast, fear-based and pity-based appeals were relatively rare. Some videos did mention negative consequences, such as disease spread or ecosystem collapse, but these moments were limited. This contrasts with other science communication genres, such as environmental documentaries or public health campaigns, where fear is often central. This suggests that in the context of crowdfunding, scientists are not primarily trying to escape scare people or alarm them or make them feel guilty. Instead, they focus on building trust, connection, and a sense of shared purpose. More broadly, these findings reflect a shift in science communication. Science is no longer communicated only through facts and authority, but through emotion, visibility, and relationship. Understanding how pathos works in this genre helps us better understand not only crowdfunding, but the evolving emotional landscape of science communication in digital spaces. Thank you very much for listening.